Okay, so this is a question about the meaning of the second derivative and what it tells us, what we can gain from knowing about it. The first thing I guess we start with is trying to interpret these statements. P prime of x is greater than 0 and P double prime of x is greater than 0. So let's take those one at a time. The first one is P prime of x is greater than 0. In other words, what that tells us is that P of x is increasing. Okay, always. P of x is always increasing. So between successive values of x, of P of x must go up. So if P of 1 is equal to 20, P of 2 is equal to 24, which is fine, it's gone up. What we can tell from that is that P of 3, if we increase x again, it has to be more than 24. So if P of 2 is 24, and P of x goes up, that means every time you increase the x, so from the 2 to the 3, the value of P will increase also. So it has to be greater than 24. P of 3 must be greater than 24. Well, if that's all that you can do out of this problem, and hopefully it's not, but if that's all that you can do, it means you've narrowed your choices down to C, D, or E, okay? Because it can't be 22 and it can't be 24. Now, let's look at the other part of this, which is that P double prime of x is greater than 0. Well, that means the second derivative is increasing. What that means is that the change between successive values is increasing. Okay, so the difference between successive values of P is increasing. So P of 1 was equal to 20 and P of 2 was equal to 24. So the change between an x value of 1 and x equals 2 was 4. Okay, so it went up from 20 to 24. Well, P double prime of x is bigger than 0. What that's telling you is that this statement here is now telling you that the change between 2 and 3, between x equals 2 and x equals 3, I beg your pardon, the change in P between x equals 2 and x equals 3 must be bigger than 4. In other words, bigger than the change between 1 and 2. So if P double prime of x is positive, that means P prime of x is increasing. So the change in each value of x is increasing. Okay? So the change between x equals 1 and x equals 2 is 4. Therefore the change between x equals 2 and x equals 3 must be more than 4. So if P of 2 is equal to 24, then P of 3 must be bigger than, okay, what was P of 2? P of 2 is 24, must be bigger than 24, and we've just said in orange here that the change between 2 and 3 must be more than 4, so it must be bigger than 24 plus 4, which is 28, so it must be, P of 3 must be bigger than 28. So if we look back at the values that we had, 22, 24, 25, 28, 30, there's only one of those values that's bigger than 28, and that is a value of 30. So of the values that we're allowed to choose from, P of 3 must be 30. So your answer was E. Okay? A little bit difficult. You have to think very carefully about what P double prime means. P prime of x is generally okay. It just means the numbers that you get for P of x are going up. But P double prime of x means that the change between each number, each consecutive pair of numbers, is increasing all the time. So the delta, if you like, the change between the values is also increasing.